Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back to the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast, where this week, like every week, we are trawling the bottom of the Netflix stream and we're hoping to hoist up a hidden gem of a movie.
We are indeed.
And sometimes we manage to do that.
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't,
Yeah.
but we will let you know either way.
Got quite a pile of movies now on the back of the stream boat, haven't we?
We really have. We're in season 9, so
Yeah.
that's what, 200 and something movies?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big poster on the wall with them all on.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to become a Patreon and get yourselves one of them.
Yeah.
Patrons all have them now. They've all confirmed to me receipt of their parcels.
Yes.
It did cost me a little bit more than I was expecting to post them out. I'm not going to lie. So we do need to discuss finances. But...
Tubes.
No, it went
not-
A3 envelopes.
Okay, fine.
And it was maybe a mistake.
Envelopes are also not cheap.
It was an A3 envelope. Have a guess.
Per envelope,
Per envelope.
£2.60.
£6.60.
Fuck me. Wow.
Yeah, it was maybe a mistake, but hey ho. So I may get tubes in the future.
That doesn't matter. So,
Doesn't indeed.
It's all about the Patreon.
Absolutely. So yeah, as Nick briefly mentioned, this is a wildcard week.
Yes.
Alex, our newest Patreon, has played his wildcard. He's trying to get to the top of the stream table, or at least, well, he's got to get to the top of the stream table to beat the current top of the stream table wildcard, which is me.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's me, yeah.
Funny you should mention that.
Having been the only one who's played it so far. He has picked an Italian time-traveling, time loop, timey-wimey movie called Still Time. Still Time was released in 2022. Was a 15. No, it is a 15. Runs for 1 hour and 49 minutes. Currently rated at 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb and is a Netflix original. 6.6 out of 10.
Good rating, isn't it?
It's high, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
What? It's got to be pretty much the highest IMDb rating we've had this season.
It's up there.
Hasn't it?
Yeah, it's right up there. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's right up there.
Yeah.
This film stars Eduardo Leo. He plays a character called Dante. Barbara Ronchi plays Alice. And Mario Seguiglia, that's not how you say that.
No way.
He plays Valerio. This film was written and directed by a guy called Alessandro Arenardio, and with a co-writing credit for Renato Sarnio.
Nice. I love that your Mandarin is better than your Italian, by the way.
Thank you.
That makes me
Thank
happy.
you. I nearly did some Mandarin lessons this week, just because I wanted to just do a bit of the podcast in Mandarin just to surprise you, but it's really difficult. Right, do you want to know a fact about this movie? Oh, you already know the fact, but do we want to tell these characters, characters that are listening?
We've got
a fact?
some stuff to unpick here.
We really have. So,
Do we reveal it how we found out?
yeah, I think we do. So, I texted you yesterday
You did.
whilst I was watching this film, and I said, did you realise that this film is a remake of a film from the year before, 2021,
Yeah.
called Long Story Short, starring Rafe Spall?
Yeah, which is like a British and Australian produced movie
Yes.
about a guy who moves forward in time.
Yeah. Which you didn't realise.
I didn't know that, no.
So then I assume you did some research into that movie.
I Googled that movie you've just mentioned, the
Long
Australian
Story
movie,
Short.
Long Story Short, and I said to you, this is interesting because Long Story Short is a remake of an Indian movie.
Yeah,
Do you have the details?
I do. It's called Barbar Deco.
Yeah.
It's from 2016, and it's about a man who travels forward in time.
Yeah.
So then when you sent me that, I looked up Barbar Deco of 2016, and I sent you a text back,
You did.
and I said, did you realise that Barbar Deco is a remake of a Hollywood movie called Shuffle from 2011?
Yeah.
How far back does this conspiracy go, Nick? Turns out there.
Yeah.
But
I felt like I was Fox Mulder uncovering
it was
some
absolutely unbelievable that for the last 10, 12 years, people have been remaking this movie and nobody's noticed till now.
And look, who says Hollywood has no new ideas? This came from Hollywood.
This came from Hollywood, was remade in India, was remade in Australia/England, and has now been perfected by the Italians, you would hope. You would hope the Italians have had 4 goes at it.
It's
This
the
is
fourth
like
go-round.
the perfect.
So this movie about a time slip has now created its own time slip.
It really has. It really has. So what needs to happen now is somebody needs to remake this movie again next year, where they bump into the characters from Shuffle in 2011.
Yeah, definitely.
Finish the loop off.
Yeah.
I thought that was incredible. It blew my mind when we found that out last
Yeah.
night. It's great. It's a great little fact. It might be my favourite fact we've ever done on the show about
Right up there.
about any movie.
Yeah.
Do you, Nick, have a one-word review
Yeah.
of Still Time?
I'm quite proud of this one.
Okay,
Not to talk it up too much.
I'm excited.
Midlife time crisis.
Nice. That's exactly what this movie is. That's really good. Well done. You didn't sing it.
No.
And it wasn't a one-word, but it's great. Do you feel like we should give a synopsis of the movie? Because it's quite a complex little beast, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, might help.
Let me get it up.
Just read the synopsis.
I will do when I've got it up. In Italian, it's called Era Ora.
I like that. She's married to Taika Waititi, isn't she?
In this time-jumping dramedy, a workaholic who's always in a rush now wants life to slow down when he finds himself leaping ahead a year every few hours. I don't like the word dramedy.
No, me neither.
Is that a portmanteau? Is that what a portmanteau is?
Yeah,
A mix of two words bunched together.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's basically about an Italian guy who every so often his life just pulls forward.
I would like to come. Yes, we'll come back to the dramedy aspirations of this movie.
Is it more the midi part of the dramedy that you've got questions with?
Yes,
It is for me too.
yes.
Where does this one start, Nick?
A man arrives at a party.
He does.
Oh, there's a quote.
There's a
before
quote
that
before that. I have the quote. Would you
from
like the quote?
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is quoted at the beginning of this movie. Would you like the quote?
Yeah, sure.
Rivers, no, there is no hurry. We will get there someday.
Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh.
that's a nice quote.
It is a nice
That's
quote.
a nice quote.
Don't know why it's at the beginning of this movie, but
Because
I think it's
someone is
basically
about
like,
to go on a journey.
chill out and slow down is basically what it's saying.
Someone is about to go on a journey that might take them a while to arrive at their destination.
Very much so. Yeah, like you said, a man arrives at a party. It's a New Year's Eve party.
He's late.
He's late.
The countdown is.
He's more than late. It's It's midnight.
We're like 8 seconds to go to midnight.
2008 we're heading towards.
And he barrels into this party,
Yep.
spies the person he's looking for,
Yep.
grabs her by the waist,
Yep.
twirls her,
Yep.
long romantic kiss.
Yep.
Problem is, it's a woman wearing the same dress as his fiance.
Yeah, it's not the right woman.
Yeah.
He's kiss raped somebody already in the first scene.
It's like he works for the Spanish Football Federation.
He apologizes. He tries to talk his way out of it. She doesn't seem very impressed. His fiance, who comes over and wonders what's going on, is also very much not impressed. She slaps him around the face.
But this doesn't really put this gentleman off.
No.
Because rather than sort of chase his fiance
Yeah.
and apologise for kissing the wrong woman, we just see him flirt with this new lady.
Yeah. Just sticks with her instead.
And she's not pushing him away.
No. It's the story of How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
And then we get a credit sequence. It's a credit sequence over what I've dubbed as a moving in montage.
Sure.
So it feels like there's a couple moving into a flat on October the 26th, 2010.
Yeah,
So we've jumped forward 2 and a bit
nearly-
years.
yeah.
Nearly 3 years. And we meet Alice for the first time. Well, not the first time, because she is moving in with Dante.
Yeah,
and
they
she
are
is
still-
the lady.
they are together, yeah.
She is the lady that he mistakenly kissed at the party 2.5 years ago.
and also, it's Dante's birthday.
It is Dante's birthday.
He is the big 4-0.
4-0.
That's 40.
It is. Well done. And she wakes him up with she's doing like a dance show for him, just dancing about, waking
Yeah.
him up.
She dances to "It's My Party,"
Yeah.
and she'll cry if she wants to. That's that song.
And she's very much, they seem very much in love. He's very happy with her waking him up until he finds out that she turned off his alarm clock
It's a birthday lion.
because it's a birthday lion. But now he's going to be late for work.
Yeah.
And he throws her off, rushes her around.
She's like, no, I've got to make you birthday pancakes. It's a tradition.
Yes.
So he like wolfs them down and burns his mouth.
You have to wait. You have to count to 10. I didn't know this. You have to count to 10 when a pancake is
Yeah.
plated, and then you'll be safe enough to eat.
Yeah, safe. Yeah.
Safe enough to eat. Did you watch the subtitles or the dub of this movie?
I dubbed it all the way. No, I subtitled it all the way through.
From Italian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had an issue here.
Okay.
I don't know if you've had the same issue or not. I watched it in the English dub,
Okay.
but I also turned on the English subtitles.
Okay.
However, the English subtitles were about 30 seconds out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by
Interesting.
quite a distance.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was the same. Obviously, not the same in the Italian version. Actually, would have noticed.
Not to my.
You
knowledge,
would have
no.
noticed they were a long way out, so I had to turn them off. It was weird. I don't know why they were so
don't
far
recall
out.
seeing that before,
They were
yeah.
they were a long way out. Yeah, it was really strange. I've never seen it before. He rushes out. He goes off to work. She stays at home. She is
Was it?
artiste.
Sorry, just to go back to that. Was it one where the subtitles were the same script as the dub?
They
or-
seem to be very similar. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but it was out.
So I always find it really interesting where it doesn't happen very often, but it has happened a few times where your subtitles are slightly different from the actual dub.
That was Warriors of Future had that.
Yeah.
That was miles out. But yeah, the timing was so far out, I couldn't watch it. I had to turn them off. She is an artist. She stays at home and paints.
Yep.
He goes to work. He rushes to his desk.
Dante is a businessman.
He is he does contracts and stuff. We don't really know. But
Does
he's got a desk job for it. He has a boss and he seems to spend a lot of his time at work. Meanwhile, while at home, whilst he's at work, Alice is setting up a surprise birthday party for him because it's his 40th. And she calls him and says, "Look, are you coming straight home after work?" He says, "I'm going to pop in and see my dad.
I've got
on
to
my
take a
way
box
home.
of stuff
Got
to
to take
dad.
a box of his stuff to see him."
I think he's just moved into a assisted living
living,
place.
So he does. He pops in to see his dad. He has a chat with him for a bit, and then his dad's kind of talking his ear off, so he just rushes out, leaves. As he's leaving, he gets a call to say that his new door is ready.
Yeah.
They don't have a bathroom door in their
No.
apartment. They have a
Alice has painted a sheet with a door on
with
it.
a door
I
in
liked
it, which is cool. And
And the guy says, "I'm going on holiday. If you don't come and get it now,
Now.
you're not getting it for 3 weeks."
yeah, you're not getting it for weeks. So he's got a little Cinquecento that he drives. So he goes and picks his door up, and he's driving back through traffic. He gets stuck in a lot of traffic then.
Yeah, and Alice is like, "Where are you? Come on, you're supposed to be back by now." He's like, "Well, I went to get this door. Why did you go and get a door? It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. I want to spend time with you, that sort of thing. He gets stuck in traffic.
Dante can't sit still.
No, he doesn't stop by the
No.
sounds of him. He's very much an on-the-go type of guy. He doesn't get home until after dark.
Yeah.
I don't know what time. In October, that
He's
doesn't seem
very
late,
late.
but he's very late. And when he gets there, the party's in full swing, and they almost miss the surprise of him
Yeah.
coming in. But they surprise him. He seems quite happy that it's there. But then he goes and hangs the door,
Yeah,
which I found very strange.
it was strange.
It's like somebody's throwing a surprise party for you, but I'm going to get my toolkit out and hang a door. And whilst he's doing this, he's having a chat with his best friend,
Valerio.
Valerio, and he's brought him a ticket to ride a roller coaster.
Yeah, he's like, we always wanted to go on this roller coaster when we were younger and we were too scared.
We were too scared, but now we're adults. We should probably go and do it.
Yeah.
Alice then gives him his gift from her, and she's done him a painting, which is supposed to depict him and her. It's basically a rabbit rolling down a hill, rushing around, rolling down a hill, and then landing in her arms.
Yeah.
And she stamped it with a date stamp that she stamps all of her pictures with. That becomes clear later on. And he's very happy with this. He loves it. He's very much.
It's a really nice
impressed.
picture, actually.
It is a really cool picture,
I don't know who did the actual art for this movie,
but there's some really good stuff.
but
in
there's
it.
some really good art in
There
this
is.
movie that
I
the
agree.
character of Alice does.
Pretty much my sort of style of art. If I was going to have art, that's what I would have. Now then he gets cake. He blows out all the candles, and as he blows out the candles, the camera sharp cuts to bedtime.
Yeah.
And they're in bed. They're talking about the date, their party they've just had, and she comes in. She's got herself all dressed up as Arwen from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so think like that bit in Friends where Jennifer Aniston
Yeah.
comes out as Princess Leia.
I have a blank page in my notes.
It's that, but Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, which it seems to be her thing rather than his
Yeah.
thing. But he looked very much like he was enjoying the fact
Sure.
that she was dressed as this. They start kissing, and then he turns the lights out, and the camera cuts again. And the very next
morning.
thing we hear is the alarm clock going
Yeah.
off. It's the next morning, and he gets up and he can hear Alice in the bathroom throwing up.
Yeah.
So he feels like she's had a bad night at the party.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did you drink too much?
Yeah.
What was going on?
And when he gets into the lounge/kitchen area of this apartment they live in, there is no sign of the party from
No,
last
someone's
night.
done some
Something's
drunk tidying up.
Something's done some heavy cleaning. Alice comes out. She wishes him happy birthday,
Yeah.
which is strange because his birthday was yesterday.
Also, she's put on a bit of weight.
She has put on a bit, and he points that out.
She's pregnant.
She's heavily pregnant. She's in fact 5 months pregnant, which he's very confused by. And he says, look, the party was only last night. What's going on? And why have you done all this cleaning? And she was like, that was last year. This is your 41st birthday. And he's very confused, but not as concerned as I would have been, I don't think.
No, and this was weirdly edited because I kind of felt like he went and had a shower
Yeah.
and then just went straight back to bed.
Yeah, he did go back to bed. I think he was like, this is weird. I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm going back to bed.
And then dropped off.
Yeah.
And woke up again.
And woke up again. And it's now his 42nd birthday.
Yeah, Alice is not pregnant.
They now have a baby.
They do.
And Alice tells him that she wants to get a dog. And he's not concerned enough for me. I don't know about you. He took it all in his stride a bit too easily.
This so far is very sort of light-hearted.
Chintzy.
And I did not like it.
I think I'm with you.
I don't want to give away what I thought about the movie as a whole. Eventually, we'll get to that. But I agree. I was like, I don't like the lightness of this.
It's quite a dark situation. This guy's losing out
Yeah.
years off his life. And he doesn't seem that bothered. He accepts it instantly of what's happened. And he just starts living his life.
Or is it that he doesn't accept it and he's just kind of like, I'll go to bed and it's not happening?
He doesn't question it though, does he?
No.
For me.
No.
Anyway, they have a baby now. It's his 42nd birthday, so he's lost 2 years now. And Alice wants to get a dog.
He's trying to like ask questions like without.
Yeah, he
giving
doesn't
away
want
that
her
he doesn't
to
know.
He doesn't want her to know that he doesn't know his daughter's name
Yeah.
because he has no idea that he even had one. And he tries to find it out, and it turns out she's called Galadriel.
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 Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a Lord of the Rings character.
So she's definitely the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
fan in this house. Dante then goes to a doctor
He does.
and instantly gets an appointment, apparently. And it turns out he's as healthy as a horse.
That's the most unrealistic thing about this movie. Yeah.
It's possibly Alzheimer's. He thinks it's Alzheimer's, but
Yeah, because he
his
says
dad has got Alzheimer's.
Yeah, he says his dad's got Alzheimer's, and the doctor's like, no, you are really healthy. And
Alzheimer's isn't hereditary.
Yeah.
You have nothing to worry about. He tells the doctor what he thinks is happening. He's like, look, I've lost 2 years of my life now. And the doctor just thinks it's stress.
the doctor says, do you work hard?
Yeah, which he does.
Yeah.
He plays with his daughter. If he goes home, plays with his daughter for a little bit. She won't stop crying. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's terrified of this little baby.
And he's sort of talking to himself, and don't go to sleep.
Eventually he
don't go
gets
to
the baby
don't go
sleep
to
and he's dropping off and he's like, I don't want to go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. And I really liked some of the cuts between the time jumps in this movie because in this point he looks in a mirror and he looks down and when he looks back up again he's got a moustache.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite... Some of the time jumps are really good in this. So he hasn't been asleep at that point as far as we're concerned.
Time's
He's just
moved.
clicked and gone. And another year has passed. It's still his birthday.
He's 43.
He's 43 now.
It's 2013.
Yep. He tells Alice that he thinks something is wrong with him. And she says, yeah, there's lots of things wrong.
Yeah.
So-
But now's not the time to talk about
Yeah,
them.
it seems like their marriage is not going well. Are they married? I don't think they ever did get married. I think they were just together. Galadriel is playing outside.
She calls him Papa, and he's like, oh.
Whoa, she's talking.
Her first word,
Yeah,
what?
no, she's been talking for months.
Yeah.
She's been walking for months.
Alice says, oh, actually, Papa was her 8th word.
Yeah, after like dog and
Yeah.
ball and things. What threw me at this point is that why isn't Alice finding it strange that he's being weird on all of his birthdays?
It is addressed later, but it's really sort of shouldered off, isn't it?
Yeah.
As a sort of, oh, you act crazy on all of
He's
your
fine on all of
birthdays.
the other days, but
Yeah.
on his birthday he's always crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit of a plot hole.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't.
No one listens
acknowledge-
to him.
Nobody listens to him, but
Yeah.
it comes out every year. It's strange.
And it's just dismissed, isn't it, a few times? Oh, you always act crazy on
Your birthday, yeah.
Yeah.
Dante smokes now. Apparently, he didn't realize, but he just muscle memory makes him start smoking. And he meets up with his friend Valerio,
Yep.
and he tells him he thinks he says, "I think I'm a time traveler."
Yeah.
3 years have gone by in a day, and
And Valerio thinks he's talking like sort of not literally.
yeah, like
and
time's just these lives just passing
yeah.
him by.
Valerio
and he's
says,
not
"Well, of
noticing.
course it does. You never take a day off.
Yeah,
You're always at work, and you're busy at home."
Yeah.
And Valerio says, "Well, how's things going at home? How's the counselling going?"
yeah.
And Dante obviously has no idea that he's been going to marriage counselling
No.
when he's been living the rest of the year.
Yeah, he's only doing these one day. He's only living his birthdays. He realizes at that point, Dante realizes at that point that he should probably quit his job.
Yeah.
So he's
Spend
like,
more time with his
I'm
family.
gonna- he can do this today because he's conscious of where he is and who he is. So he goes to his work.
He says, I'm going to try and change things.
Yeah, I should quit my job. I'm going to go to my job and quit. So he goes to his job, knocks on his boss's office door, and his boss says, "Oh, Dante, come in." And as he opens the door, it time jumps again.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in there.
And he's wearing a suit.
And he's suddenly wearing a suit. He goes outside. He says, "Where did the director go?" to all the other staff.
Everyone
And
just laughs.
They all laugh at him. And he turns back around to the office, and it turns out that's his office now.
Yeah.
He's in charge.
name's on
He's
the
the
door.
director. The other guy retired. He's been in charge for 8 months. And he says to his assistant, Francesca,
Yeah.
"How did this happen? I was going to quit. How did I become the boss?" And she explains and whatever. And then
And she starts telling him about his salary and all the benefits he gets for him and his family.
which is
Health
probably the reason why he
insurance.
took the job.
Yeah.
She reveals that she's now married. She's got a husband. And she wishes him happy birthday. She's got him a gift, or they've got him a gift between them.
The office got him a cake.
And they get him a cake, and they really creepily sing happy birthday to him. Because
And they put that like fisheye lens on,
it's a
don't
really-
they?
it's
So
a
he's
horrible
like
camera view.
being surrounded by all these colleagues.
So at the end of that workday, he leaves. He goes out to the car park. His car's not there, but he has a new car.
Yeah.
Because he clicks the key and the car goes off, and he's got a nice little Lexus. He rings Alice, and Alice says, "No,
No.
Alice calls him.
Yeah. She says, "Where are you? Therapy starts in 5 minutes."
Yeah, you're late. You're late for couples therapy." And he's like, "Oh, can you give me the address again? I need to put it in the sat nav." Whatever. They get to the couples therapist. They start doing their couples therapy together. He can't see anything that's wrong because he's not living this life that she is. So the therapist gets them to do this thing where they have to stand as far apart as they can, as how far the gulf is between them.
Yeah,
Is how I understood it.
It's kind of like, how good is their communication, and how can you show that through, a bit of role play, like stand where how close
you think you are to you, and
to
he
each other.
like embraces her. He's like, "Is this
With the
close?"
doll in the middle
He forgets
of them,
about the baby, which is becoming a common theme.
yeah, the doll represents their kid, so he hugs Alice, puts the kid in between them,
Yeah,
but then, like you say, forgets about the doll, which drops to the floor.
yeah. There's a theme in this where he forgets the kid's name all the way through. He forgets the doll. Then it's Alice's turn to do the same experiment, and she gets him as far away from her as she can,
And
to the
puts
point where
them
she
under
has
the
to go
desk.
under the desk of the therapist.
And she cuddles the doll.
Yeah, I didn't like that scene. I thought it was unnecessary.
I didn't mind it, but it felt very different to what we'd seen before in this movie.
Yeah. He doesn't explain himself. He doesn't like, "Look, I'm only living one day a year. This is weird.
I think the difficulty...
Something weird is happening to me."
Yeah, and I think the difficulty I had was that we quickly work out what's going on.
Yeah.
And Dante's very slow
Yeah.
to cotton on.
And Alice
think.
never comes on. She never gets it. She never believes what he's saying.
Well, yeah, but no one does.
No, I guess, and you never see the problem with this is you never see this movie from her point of view. So you have to constantly think about how she's seeing this
Yeah.
yourself, because she's seeing this normal guy that she's married to, who occasionally goes a bit crazy on his birthday.
Yeah, but he's an arsehole the rest of the
But
year.
the rest of the
always
year
at
is-
work.
yeah.
He ignores her and their daughter.
So the question is, why is he different on his birthday than he is the rest of the year? Why is he suddenly
'cause
a different guy?
We're into like what
4
I don't know,
years in now.
4 or 5 years in. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand why he's like loving and affectionate on his birthday. But I suppose it's because 4 years ago he was like, I don't think it explains its rules very well. I think that's probably how I'm going to say it. Anyway, they leave the therapist. They leave separately. He goes over to his flat, or where they live, opens the fridge, closes the fridge, and then suddenly the time's jumped again.
Yep.
And now he has a beard,
He
not just a
does, yeah.
moustache. And he lives alone. Well, he appears to be living alone. There's empty Chinese cartons all over the place. None of the kids' toys are there anymore. And she's moved out. And he calls her. It turns out they decided they're going to take a break.
He says, "Where are you?" And she says, "I'm at home."
Yeah.
And
You're not at
he says,
home.
Yeah.
And she said, "No, I'm at the other home." And then his phone rings.
She says, "You'll come by later because it's your
Yeah,
birthday."
I'll talk to him because it's your birthday. He gets a phone call. And it turns out his dad is about to jump off the roof of the home that he lives in.
Yeah.
So he has to go and visit his dad.
He talks him down, doesn't he?
He does. He
It
gives
was
him.
quite a nice scene, actually.
It was
with
quite
him
nice
talking
scene.
to his dad.
Yeah, he gives him a few home truths.
Yeah.
He tells him that you were a bad father, and at one point he even says to him, "Just jump then. I'll be downstairs. I'll wait for you." And he does talk him down. When Dante gets home, Francesca is there in his house.
Yeah.
In a dressing gown.
Making him birthday pancakes.
Yeah. Turns out
Another year's gone on.
another year's gone on. And it turns out she has left her husband for Dante.
Yeah.
And they're now in a relationship. But he doesn't want to be in a relationship with Francesca.
Yeah, so he tries to break up with her
4 days
immediately,
ago, he was still in love with Dante.
Yeah.
So he breaks up with her instantly.
even though they've been together for 6 months.
Yeah. And then there's a knock on the door.
Yeah, and when she's like, why the hell are you trying to break up with me? You're crazy.
you're crazy.
He says, well, go into the bathroom.
Go and hide in the bathroom. I need to answer this door. So she does. She goes and hides. Alice is there. She shows up. Turns out Alice really misses him.
Yeah.
She is coming around to give him a second chance, I guess.
They both miss each other, and she says, like, oh, I've got some good news. The gallery owner wants to display my art.
Yeah, which he's really happy for.
And this was quite touching.
Yeah.
This was like... Yeah, it was good acting from both of them.
Yeah, it was.
And it's probably the first time I was like, there's something more here, and we've not seen it. This movie's not let itself.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think this lightheartedness is not the way this should have been done.
No, absolutely. It just feels. I don't know. It's just something's not
Doing itself a disservice.
It is. You're right. That's a great way of putting it. He tells her he loves her, and she says, "I love you too," and they kiss. And then while they're kissing, she spots some lady's shoes on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And he originally says they're a gift for you, but she's not buying that straight.
Then I was put off Dante immediately after my sort of,
Yeah.
I quite like their last interaction, because Dante, he just lies.
Yeah.
He
They're for you.
doesn't even try to say, remember that time travel thing?
Yeah.
I'd really like you to listen to me, please.
Yeah.
He just lies and says, oh, I bought these shoes as a present for you.
Yeah. Which is not true.
She's like, well, what size am I? Yeah.
And then she says, "Is there a slut in the house?" Which is a great line.
Yeah.
I really like that. He says no, and then as he's trying to explain there's not a slut in the house, a toilet flushes. Because Francesca's had a shit. And then I really like this. Alice goes up to the bathroom door and
They have a funny conversation.
They have a conversation through the door, and she's apologised. She's like, "I didn't mean to call you a slut. I'm sorry," and all this. It's quite a funny conversation. And then he leaves. Before she leaves, she tells him he got a bit fat.
Yeah.
Just trying to pick at.
Francesca walks out of the bathroom and also breaks up with Dante.
Yeah, she leaves
She's
as
like,
well.
I'm not having any more of this.
This is weird.
Whatever's just happened is really strange.
As she leaves, slams the door.
Yeah.
And as he turns around, she says, "I'm never coming back in this house again." And she slams the door. As he turns around, a time jump happens, and she walks out of the kitchen with his birthday cake.
Yeah.
Because
Francesca
does. And they've also got a kitten now. Kitchen. The new kitchen, not a kitten. They've not got a kitten. They've got a new kitchen. She's changed the kitchen. And he confronts her. He's like, "Look, you said you were never going to come into this house again. Why are you here? You shouldn't be here."
Yeah, tries to break up with her again. And Francesca says, are you actually schizophrenic?
Yeah, because why are you always like this on your birthday?
Yeah. And she's like, my first husband was better. I'm out. I'm going back on Tinder.
And I really like that because he goes, "What's Tinder?"
Yeah.
And she gives him a lesson on what Tinder is.
Yeah, she actually swipes on
She's like, "There's some really hot guys on here," and there's no she's swiping through, and there's no
no.
hot guys on there. But then she leaves. He goes outside to the party guests because there's loads of people there. Tries to end the party.
Everyone laughs at him.
Yeah, everyone laughs at him, and then he kicks them all out. Tells them, "I'm ill. You need to go." But he lets his mate stay. Valerio's there. And they have a bit of a heart-to-heart, a bit of a chat about what's going on. He says, "On my 40th, I wished for more time, and I got the opposite.
Yeah.
I got the less time."
Valerio says, hey, remember that present I got you?
Yeah.
That roller coaster ride? We never did it.
Yeah, we never
We
did
should
it.
do it.
Yeah, because he's
And
not...
Dante's like, nah,
Can't ride that.
I've got big problems.
Big problems. Valerio is also having issues with his life. He's a teacher, I think, and he doesn't,
Yes.
he doesn't enjoy his
What
life.
we haven't said is every time we've seen him, he is wasted.
Yeah, he's always drunk. He's an alcoholic teacher. And Dante vapes now. He's not smoking anymore, but he is vaping.
Because he looks down.
He's like, I don't even know what this is. He's really confused. Then he goes to visit Alice. She says, "Look, you need to move on. You're the same on every birthday.
There's another year's
It's
past.
another birthday. I knew you'd turn up at some point today."
Alice has now cut her hair.
Yeah,
That's how we know
looks
time
better.
has changed.
She wants to move on. She doesn't need him anymore.
She says every birthday you try and get back with me.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, come on. It's been like 5 years.
She says, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
I don't need you. I don't need anyone.
Bye, Dante. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Slams the door. The slamming of the door triggers another time jump, and he starts knocking back on the door again.
Yeah.
And a guy answers this time.
Yeah.
He kind of misses this time jump, Dante does, because he's like, oh, shit, there's somebody else in the house, and I didn't know you were there. This is
Omar. He's like a yoga
spiritual guru
Yeah.
type guy.
fit.
Older,
Sexy.
I think. But
Yeah.
fit. He's in his 50s.
Sexy
by the
grey
looks of him.
haired dude.
Yeah. Like you.
Very bendy. I imagine
Not like
I
you.
would imagine he's bendy.
He looked quite bendy. He did a few stretches at some points.
And I says, right, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
Here's your daughter.
Yeah, well remembered, because it's your day to have Galadriel.
Yeah.
Also, can you have
Philippa.
Philippa? And Dante's like, "Ooh, when did we have another kid?"
Yeah. Who's Philippa?
That's where his mind goes.
Yeah. Turns out Philippa's a dog.
Yeah.
Philippa, the dog. Galadriel comes out. She's 5 now. He tries to get to know her a little bit. He takes her to the park. And
I liked this scene.
I like this scene.
He's talking to his daughter.
This little
and-
girl's really good as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's like, because he says to her, "What can I do to make you happy?" And she says, "More time, please."
And he says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Oh, more time with you."
When we're together, you're not here.
yeah,
You're
you're
always
on
your
a phone or a screen.
You don't spend
and-
enough.
yeah.
We see enough of each other, but you're never here when you actually here. Then she says, "Look, I need to go for a pee or a wee."
And he said, there are some good lines in this
Yeah,
because
there are.
Dante says, "I've not had a piss for 7 years."
Which I thought was funny. When he drops Galadriel back home later on, and Omar is there again, and they have a bit of a chat, and he tells him that they're about to move in together.
Yeah.
Him and Alice are going to move in together.
And Dad says, "No, I won't allow it."
And he said, "I didn't ask you permission. I'm just telling you what's happening."
Yeah, out of respect,
Yeah.
I'm telling you that.
And Omar tries to get through to him a little bit. He's like, "You need to settle your mind, align your chakras,
Yeah.
come into your own consciousness." There are 2 days a year when nothing can be done. Yesterday and tomorrow.
Very much like your riddle.
It was from the wave this week. Yeah. So Omar, and he kind of gets that. I think he realizes. Maybe I do.
There's a chink of light
There's a
starting
little
to get through Dante's armor.
There's another good time cut here because he's left in the garden with the dog. He throws the ball for the dog and it goes around the back of the house. And when the dog brings the ball back, it's a dog now,
Grown.
not a puppy. It's a big dog. And Valerio calls him.
He says, "Where are you? I'm at our usual spot.
Let's meet in the park." Yep.
Let's have a chat. It's your birthday."
He gets there. He's like, "Look, you like Dante. You like Omar.
Yeah, he's
You've
like,
told
"Why are
me
you
before
complaining about Omar?"
you really like him.
Yeah.
You saying that he's okay for Alice.
Yeah.
You were telling me this literally yesterday, and now you're telling me that you don't like Omar and
Yeah.
you need to get back with Alice. Doesn't make any sense." He also then explains Instagram to him because he doesn't know what Instagram is, and it then comes apparent, which I figured out straight away at the start of the scene, but it turns out I'm a better friend than Dante. Valerio has cancer.
Yeah, he's wearing a bobble hat. He's clearly bald.
Yeah, his beard's gone.
Yeah.
And he's drinking orange juice. It's the first time in the movie that he's not been drinking a beer.
And this really affects
Yeah.
Dante.
He's like, I'm missing out on all of this stuff.
And I will say, from this point onwards, so what was the chap who played Dante? Did you say
Eduardo
Leo?
something. Yeah, I think that's right.
His performance goes up a notch.
Yeah,
for
he
the
does.
Rest
He
of
does seem
this
to
movie.
lift it, doesn't he? I thought exactly the same thing.
And
The movie gets better as well.
I think the last half an hour of this movie
Yeah,
is so much better than the first hour.
I agree. I completely
And-
agree. I've even written it somewhere.
We'll get into why that is, but you text me when you were watching it and said, "I've got about half an hour left," and I so nearly texted you back to say it's the best bit, and I didn't because I was like, I want to get into this tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Something, well, as soon as he reveals he's got cancer, something triggers. And I don't know what it is, but it does.
do you know why? My input into that is this movie drops the comedy,
Yeah,
and
that's
for
fair.
the last half an hour, it's
Quite deep.
deep, it's a bit bleak,
Yeah.
and I think if we'd have had that set up and that we'd had that all the way through, I'd have liked this movie more.
I agree. It's It's too dark a subject matter to be a light-hearted movie.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I'm with you. Anyway, they're still in the park. Dante's gutted that he's missed out on his friend getting cancer. That's in a bad way. And he's like, "Come on, let's go and ride the roller
Says,
coaster."
"So are you going to be okay?" And,
Yeah.
and Valeria's like, "Well,
Don't know, it might be. It might die. It might be all
I've
right.
got 5 treatments left. I'll have my results after that, and we'll find out." And you don't need it spoken, because you can see Dante is clearly thinking, "This might be the last time I ever see my friend.
Yeah,
I'm only here once a year."
yeah.
And it was a nuance that hadn't been in this movie before.
No,
now.
it wasn't. You're right. He says to him, "Let's go now. Let's go and ride that roller coaster that
Yeah.
we've always wanted to do." And Valeria's like, "I feel ill just sitting down.
Yeah.
Imagine me what I'd be like upside down." And then they leave each other, and Dante's
Just before that, Dante says, "Oh, I hear Alice has got an exhibition showing. I'd love to go." And Valeria goes, "We went
last week,
a couple of days ago. What's wrong with you?"
So, and he hugs Valeria when he leaves, and he's like, "Promise me we'll see each other tomorrow."
Yeah.
Because obviously he's hoping that his other life, he's going to spend more time with his mate. And then he goes off to see Alice's work. He goes over to the museum or the art gallery, wherever it is. It appears to be on his own, and it appears to be the middle of the night, but I don't think it is. And I've written, sad music plays over a montage of him and Alice together. So all of her pictures remind him of moments in their life.
Yeah.
And
that is her exhibition.
Yeah.
And it's intercut with sort of flashbacks to the New Year's Eve when they met.
We're getting cuts of, we see the picture and then a clip of the film that we've already seen.
I've got to be honest with you. I found this really affecting as he was walking around the gallery. And there's a few moments in the last half an hour of this movie when I'm like, oh, this nearly got me.
Yeah.
I was just like,
where did it come from?
This. Yeah, I honestly, I can't enough express how much I liked the last half an hour of this movie compared to the first hour, which I didn't really care for.
It's strange, isn't it?
And Dante eventually, gets to the last piece of art, and it's him.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
It's really good.
So Alice, we saw earlier, has got this stamp.
Yeah.
Rubber stamp, where you can move the numbers, and that's
so like
the
a date
date,
stamp,
like a receipt stamp.
Yeah.
And she says her dad gave it to her.
Yeah, because he used to stamp on his paintings
when she was
or
a
whatever.
kid.
Yeah.
And she's done this picture of Dante, but it's all made up of these date
Dates.
stamps.
Yeah. It's like
There's a proper word for it. I
Yeah.
don't know the art word.
Yeah, nor do I, but it's brilliant.
And it's the title is All the Days I Waited for You.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. It's really good.
It's really good.
Like, that's got me in the field.
I would hang that painting in this house. It's that good. So he sees this. Comes as a stunning realization that he's the one in the wrong here.
Yeah.
Which
He's
I think
like,
is the
am I
first.
the bad guy?
Am I the bad guy? Which I think is the
Am I
first
the
time he
asshole?
realizes he is. So he calls her and he says, "Look, if you want to move in with Omar, move in with Omar. That is, you have my blessing."
He's a good guy.
And she's like,
That was last year.
That
We
was
moved
last
in."
year. We've lived together for a year. Then he goes to visit his dad. His dad's almost non-responsive now. He's missing out on all these years with his dad as well.
I really like this as well. I thought, again, this nearly got me. So I like the juxtaposition of the fact that because of the Alzheimer's, Dante's dad is as confused about time as Dante is.
Yes.
And his dad is sort of telling him unprompted about what he remembers. He has a moment of clarity.
Yeah.
And he's talking about this was the best day of my life. I basically hooked up with this girl, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. And then he finishes telling his story, and he just looks up at Dante and he says, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen relatives do go through
Yeah,
this. And I'm like,
same.
again, I was like, fucking hell, that's a really good scene.
That bit really nearly got me as well.
And it just made me think straight away. I'm sure we'll cover this at the end. I was like, this movie needed to be bleak all the way through,
It really
and we
does.
could have had something special here.
Yeah.
I think.
I wonder if any of the other four are.
Yeah, yeah.
What the bit that really got me is his dad starts coughing, so he's like, "Oh, I'll go and get you some water." So he walks off into the bathroom, pours some water, and when he comes back, a time jump's happened.
Yeah.
And the room's all been packed up and it's all
good.
in boxes. And
It's
I'm
really
like,
good.
wow, that's like really, really effective. The room's all been packed up. And then he realizes that a time jump's happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to call Valerio. So he rings Valeria's phone. He doesn't answer. He's like, "Fuck, don't you be dead as well?" He's really panicking about he might have lost his friend as well. And then Valerio shouts from across the car park,
What are you ringing me for?
"What are you ringing me for? I'm right here." And he's got hair now. He seems healthy. He's got a beer on.
Smoking a cigarette, and he's given Dante a lift and said, "Look, I told you it was too soon."
Yeah, you can't go packing up his boxes. Let's just leave it. So instead, they go and ride the roller coaster
Yeah,
together. It's a really nice.
they have a great
scene.
time.
Yeah, and they get off the roller coaster, and he's like, "I need to borrow your car."
Yeah.
Not only do I need to borrow your car, I need to leave you here.
Yeah, it's like, Valerio's like,
What?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird one, but he borrows Valerio's car and he calls Alice.
Because he's got all these missed calls on his phone from
Yeah.
his office as well,
Yeah.
hasn't he, Dante?
So he goes into work on his way to Alice, and there's a big board meeting going on. They've
Yeah.
got a big presentation coming up or something. He's not in a suit. He's just in his normal. He's been on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
He's just in his normal clothes. And he turned all the people who are at this board meeting. Francesca's there, who's his PA.
They're saying, "Why are you late? Do we need to move it to tomorrow?"
Yeah.
What's
And he turns to Francesca and he says, "How many days annual leave have I got? How many days holiday have I got owed?" And she goes on the computer, looks, and she's like, 96. And he's like, "Okay, guys, I'll see you in 96 days.
Yeah.
Take some time off." And then this was a funny line. So he apologizes. He leaves the room, and then he turns around and comes back in again. And he's like, apologizes to Francesca for the way he treated her. And he's like,
Sorry,
I was really horrible to you. I'm sorry I was a dick. And she's like, "Dude, that was 3 years ago. And we're way over this. We're way past it. In fact, I've got a new partner now. And she's sitting right next to me. And it's one of the other women who works in the office. I really like that. I thought that was quite cute. Then he goes and picks up a new puppy.
Yeah, another dog.
Did something happen to their old dog?
No, I think that. So Philippa lives with Omar and Alice.
So he's getting a dog for
I
himself
presume so.
for when Galadriel's there. Okay, so he goes to see Alice and Galadriel with this dog. He gives Galadriel the new puppy. It's the same kind of dog.
It was a slightly different colour, but I don't know.
It was the same dog from the earlier in the film. And Alice is like, "Right, I'll leave Galadriel with you. You can have her for the night. It's your birthday. You have her on your birthday." And he's like, "No, you just stay. We'll
Says,
just
"Can you come too?"
you just stay. We're just going to do nothing.
Yeah,
We'll
and
just
she's
chill
like,
out and do nothing."
What have you done with Dante?
Yeah, who the fuck are you and what have you done with Dante? And she's like, "You never just do nothing. You've never just sat and
Can't.
done nothing. You
Yeah.
can't do it. You physically can't do it." But then you get a montage of them. They're playing in the garden. They're watching some movies. They've got the exact same
Doing
popcorn
plasticine,
machine that
playing
I've got.
games and
I've got the same popcorn machine that they've got. I just thought, that's my popcorn machine.
conspiracy. Are you involved in this 4-movie deep conspiracy?
No.
Where
they
were you
watched
in
some movies.
2011? Did you make a movie called Whispers or whatever it was called?
Just called Shuffle. No, I did not. I don't know where I was in 2011, but it wasn't doing that, unfortunately. They send Galadriel off to bed.
It's it's a good montage.
It is. It's a family
just-
montage. It's nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's friendly. And he says to Alice, "Look, if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. You can either have my bed or you can sleep on the sofa. Whichever you want to do is fine with me." So he's had a really nice, chilled day with the family. He goes in. He reads the daughter. He goes into his daughter's room to read her a bedtime story.
She says, "This is my favorite book.
This is my
Can you read
favorite
me
book,
this?"
and it turns out it's written by Alice.
wrote this book.
Yeah, it's a nice book about the passage of time.
Things that pass.
Yeah, it's all about like leaves turning to dying in the autumn and tears drying.
He reads this book, and again, I thought it was nice, and the last line in the book is everything passes sooner or later, except me, which is, and the book is Alice writing it to her daughter.
To her daughter.
Look, I've got kids around this age.
Yeah.
I've got again. I found it.
It's affecting.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Galadriel says to him, "Are you going to leave me again?" And he's like, "I'm never ever going to leave you. I'm always going to be here for you."
Yeah.
And they fall asleep together. And when they wake up the next morning, she's gone. So he's like, "Oh, another time jump, typical." But when he walks out into the apartment, they're still there.
Yeah.
And it is now.
The new puppy wanders along in front of the camera.
And it is October the 27th.
Yeah.
So it is the day after his birthday, and the time jump has not happened this time.
He's got a nice line. Dante says,
Yeah.
wait, today is tomorrow.
Yeah, that is a nice line.
Yeah.
And he tries to convince Alice, "Look, I've really changed this time. I'm going to be a completely different guy." And she's like, "You're not. You're still going to run off to work tomorrow." And he's like, "I've taken 96 days off." And she looks at him like he's a whole new person.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, he says, doesn't he? He says, "I know I can't get the years back," and obviously she thinks she's talking about all the work he's done
Yeah.
and the lack of family time. He's talking about the. Let's be
Potentially
honest.
8
The
years that
fact
he's
that
lost.
the darkness of this movie is that this guy has lost 8 years of his
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and he says,
I think it was more than that. I think it was 10. I
"Yeah."
think it was his 50.
He says there is still time for me to change.
People never change, Dante, and he says there's still time.
Yeah.
And then they cook the child some pancakes, and she puts them in her mouth too quick and burns her mouth.
Yeah.
And then they all count to 10 together.
Yeah.
And that's where the movie ends.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Nick?
I've got genuinely no idea.
It's a strange one, this one, isn't it?
I thought the last half an hour was really strong when it ditched the sort of chintzy.
There is no comedy in the last half an hour of this movie.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's disturbing. People die. People potentially nearly die.
Yeah.
Lifelong dreams get fulfilled.
When it
A
shifts,
new puppy turns up.
when it shifts into the basically the plot of the book that he reads, when
Yeah.
it shifts into all things must pass, things move on.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's pretty. The last half hour is really strong. The first hour where it's just the sort of comedy of errors. You know, Dante not remembering names and the sort of the kind of like Richard Curtisness of it.
The fact that he forgets
It
he has a
didn't like-
child 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
in this movie is silly.
I know he's gone for. I know he's dealing with a shock, but it's like didn't work for me at all.
No, I
It's
agree.
talk about a movie of two halves.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's uneven.
Like you said earlier, if it would have been darker all the way through.
Yeah.
Is it The Time Traveler's Wife? Is that a movie?
That is a movie. I've
there's-
never seen it.
There's a.
So
I
it's
feel
a,
like
it's
that's
a book that a lot of people love, don't they?
I've seen that movie, and I feel like that's the one I'm thinking of because that's quite a dark story of time travel, and I feel like it could have been that, but it isn't.
This should not have been. I wouldn't even say. Some places this is described as a rom-com. I wouldn't even say it's a rom-com.
No, I wouldn't.
But drama, yeah, just ditch the comedy and let's have quite a dark tale of this guy. Let me restate, has lost 8 to 10 years of his life.
Yeah.
And that's his punishment for being a dickhead, basically.
Yeah, basically for not paying attention to his
Yeah.
family, putting his job first, and he got an anti-birthday wish. He wished for more time and
Yeah.
got less.
And this is just framed wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
This movie is framed wrong.
But overall, it's okay. It's a good movie.
But
As a movie, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's
Yeah, it is,
It's
yeah.
just
I can't in recent memory remember seeing a movie on this show that I thought, oh god, I have so many problems with the first half, and then I really enjoyed
the second half's great. The second half's really, really good. It's a shame. That the
Final
second
half an
is
hour
really-
is, I was all in.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But where was that the first half?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't
So God knows what we do with this.
it? Shall we do stream table?
Yeah. Because I think if we'd have had an hour and a half of that, I'd have been a wreck by the end of this.
Yeah, there were parts of it that nearly got me as well.
And I think,
That scene where he walks back in and his dad's gone.
yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
And the script isn't even, and it doesn't give. I think the performances are fine, but they, it is that last half an hour where they get the chance to go into another gear.
Yeah.
And that just keeps this from being really good.
Shall I read through the stream table?
Sure.
Currently at number 10 in the stream table is Buddy Games. Number 9, is Here Are All the Young Men. No, Here Are All the Young Men. Is that what it's called? No, it's not. It's called Here Are the Young Men. I've written the word all in there for no reason. That's wishful thinking again. So number 10 is Buddy Games. Number 9 is Here Are the Young Men. Number 8 is Freaks, You're One of Us. Number 7 is Mercy. Number 6 is Sweet Girl. Number 5 is Catty Catty. Number 4 is Don't Listen. Number 3 is Against the Ice. Currently number 2 is The Humans. And currently at the top of the stream is my wild card, the Warriors of Future. Where does this one go, Nick?
That's tough.
It is tough. I've got a place in my
You've
mind.
got to take it as a whole.
Yeah,
A whole movie. It's flawed. It's uneven.
yeah.
It's annoying. I'm annoyed
You're annoyed by this movie.
because it could have been really proper good.
Yeah, agreed. So should we just say off the bat that Alex hasn't won the wildcard race this season?
It's not going to top
to
this.
number 1.
Yeah, it's not the best movie we've seen this year.
No,
this season.
Where does it go? I think I know where I want it, so I'm intrigued to see what you say.
I think I would have it. I have got room for manoeuvre,
Okay.
but my gut feeling is putting it 6th.
Under Catty Catty?
Yes.
That's exactly where I had it. That is exactly what I was going to say. That's weird.
Yeah.
We're agreeing too much in this stream table this season. We need to have an argument about something.
I could even hear an argument for it going under Sweet Girl, but they are very different movies. I think the strength of the last half hour of this.
Yeah, I think it saves
Gives
it a
it
little
the
bit.
edge.
I think it does. I think
But
Catty Catty's
Catty
a really
Catty's
good
a
film.
better
Overall movie.
overall movie.
It is close with Sweet Girl. It could go either side, but I think it just tips it. Just because it's quite emotional, and there are some quite emotional scenes.
And I quite like this being next to Catty Catty because there are some similarities
Similarities, yeah,
in
there
sort
are.
of, what is time.
Yeah.
And, people looking back at their life choices. And so I quite like it sitting there. It feels like a missed opportunity. This
It really
movie,
does. It
doesn't
really could have been better. We're going to have to watch all those other ones to see which one's the best one. Number 6, Still Time. Just below Catty Catty, just above Sweet Girl.
Yes, right in the middle of the stream table so far.
It is.
for
We're going to have to
season
start arguing at some point. It feels weird that we just agreeing every week, but
9. Look, we're at the mercy of Robin or whoever chooses the wild card.
we are indeed. Talking of Robin, should we release him from his cage?
Let's bring her out.
I don't know why he's in a cage, but what would you like next week, Nick?
I'm not really sure. I feel like we've had quite we've
We've
had
had
a
a
couple
decent
of
mix
dramas.
this season, haven't we?
We kind of had a sci-fi with Warriors of the Future action.
Do you know what we've not had this season yet?
What's that?
A horror movie.
No, I guess we don't listen. That was horror, wasn't it? It was a ghost story.
It's a ghost story. I don't know. Yeah, okay, maybe it is.
One could argue, if we were going artsy fartsy, that The Humans was a horror movie. But
yeah,
I know, I get what you're saying.
you know what I mean, like a
Yeah,
good balls to the wall horror movie.
Yeah, we've not had that sort of slasher type movie, have we?
Love slasher movies. Shall I press his button?
Yes, please.
He has picked us a movie called Cadaver.
I mean, I don't think I'm going out on a limb to say I'm expecting it to be a horror
I
movie.
think I might have the horror movie that I just asked for. Cadaver was released in 2020. It's 15, runs for 126. It's a Netflix film.
Okay.
It's also Norwegian.
Okay.
It's described on IMDb as a drama horror thriller.
Fine.
Would you like a synopsis?
Yes, please.
In the aftermath of a nuclear disaster, a starving family finds hope in a charismatic hotel owner. Lured by the prospect of a free dinner, they discover that the evening's entertainment blurs the lines between performance and reality. Will they wind up the spectators or become the spectacle?
Okay. Yeah, I'm there.
Post-nuclear hotel owners. I'm sure there's hundreds of them about. So, yeah, it sounds interesting. Sounds fun. It is 5.2 on IMDb.
Okay. That's not bad.
Not bad for a Netflix original.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go out and watch Cadaver. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you will find every episode we've ever recorded, loads of cool stuff, all the stream tables, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Timepiece.
timepiece. That a posh name for a watch.
Yes.
Cool. After you've done that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for £5 of your English pounds every month, you will get early access to the movie show episodes. You will get a poster. You will get loads of other stuff that we just do. You get an exclusive place in the Discord for us to come and chat with us. And if you will also get a wild card, which means that you can do what Alex has just done and not beat me in the wild card race. I'm not getting big-headed about this at all.
Okay. Not
Still
sure I
plenty to
believe
go.
you.
There's still 4 more to play. Could be a long season. Patreon.com/bottom of the stream. I don't know if I said that or not. Then when you've done that, head over to Discord. The Discord is a great group of wonderful people. All of us love movies. We all love chatting, and we'll just talk to you about anything. It's really cool. And on the first Sunday of every month, we will do a watch along, which means that you can come and sit and watch a film with us while we chat about it
Sure
as
can.
it's playing, which is a really good time, really good fun. The last one was one of the best ones we've done. We've got Birdemic coming up in September, so
Can't wait.
I can't wait to watch that. So yeah, come and watch that in the Discord. The Discord link is in the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a rating or a review anywhere you can review and rate podcasts. It really helps get the word out there about our show. We can meet more friends, we can get more people in the Discord, and we can spread the word about some of these terrible and also occasionally quite good movies. So yeah, do that. It'd be much appreciated. You can find us anywhere that you find your podcasts, including Podbean, Podchaser, Spotify, and all the others.
Yeah.
There's like hundreds.
To be fair, if you're listening to that, you've already found it.
Yeah. Just spread the word.
Just spread the word. Let people know about us. Tell your mum, tell your nan. And then go out and watch Cadaver. And we'll be back on Monday for The Wave and next Thursday for the movie show.
Cheers!
Bye.